can show me that you love me every day. Just know I appreciate it, and I just wanna say hello, Dad. I'm really proud to say that I'm your son. Hello, Dad. I'm really proud to say that I'm your son. Hello, Dad. I'm really proud to say that I'm your son. Hello, Dad. I'm really proud to say that I'm your son.
Hello, son.
Yeah, Dad.
I'm really proud to say that you're my son.
Thanks, Dad. I love you.
I love you too, son.
Hello there, and welcome back to International Fathers. I'm your host and your creator, Nelson Moody Sr. As you know, I like to recap from my last talk show, which was last week. I had the sensational and phenomenal Shannon A. Jefferson, where we talked about the legacy of her father, Mr. George Jefferson. Activist, an educator, an outstanding dad. He was great. He even was an educator as well. Fast forward, that famous question I always ask as fathers when you have a chance to visit your child or children since the last time I talked to you, and if you haven't, and there was nothing or no one blocking you, I need to know why. Your children need you. They want you. They want to be a part of your life. And I know you already know that internationally. The next thing we're going to talk about is today's show. With this month being February, which is dubbed the Love Month. If you can see the title, you can see my hearts. Today is February the 12th, and in 2 days, February the 14th, it's my 27th birthday. For all you people out there who didn't know that, now you know that. I think it's also going to show up on your feed when it's a happy birthday to me. It's also Valentine's Day, so there's two things, a birthday and a Valentine's Day. Today we're going to talk about children loving their fathers. That word love is a verb which means action. And it's not all about talking, it's about doing and showing. And I chose that topic because, again, it's February and it's my birthday. And the fact that fathers love their children internationally, unconditionally, tirelessly, effortlessly, and whatever word you ever want to use to say that we continually love our children, and then they continue to love us back. Now, with that being said and done, we're going to break some more ice because I got to get ready to talk to you. This tie is kind of up there, but I'm still looking good. I'm going to give a shout out to my producers who are just so great in preparing everything for me and also teaching me a whole lot. And I'm being obedient and listening to them and following them. Hello, Dad, this song that you hear, I don't have the rights to that. However, this song, Hello, Dad, comes with so much love and so much emotion to it for the guy who wrote it and his father assisted him, which is Ryland John and Danielle John. You've seen them last year here on International Fathers to perform the song. And when I first heard it, the love and the attention and the affection of that song got to me in a very emotional and loving way. But to hear your son or your daughter write a song about how much they love you is strong and it's deep. It's deep like the widest ocean. And that child was watching you as him or her was growing up, just watching you perform certain type of tasks that you do. And despite of everything, at the end of the day, loving you and caring for you. And then you're looking up, wow, my dad loves me. My dad just genuinely loved me. And sometimes the feeling can be overwhelming for those who have dads in their life 24/7 and or consistently, whichever the case may be, to embrace something like that. Rylan John and Daniel John definitely sing that song. And I've gotten some comments from people who said that the song just fit International Fathers Talkshow. And I just had to just listen to it more and more and more and more. And I said, wow, with the love of that song. L-O-V-V-E-L, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe want to sing some R-E-S-P-E-C-T. This is L-O-V-E, the love. Like I said, we talked with Miss Shayna Jefferson last week in reference to her father's legacy. And then came back, she had her show, Vision of Greatness, that comes on Sundays. And I managed to catch a lot of it. And one of our guests was Paul Posey. He was a guest here. He has a talk show here, Negative to Positive. He comes on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. And he talked about the relationship that he had briefly with his father, how he thought through a story or a statement that his father was dead. But fast forward, his spouse at that time found his father at a gas station. They met and they went from there. And he asked the question, which I've often asked my children, is how does it feel to have a dad in your life, a loving dad in your life? I've gotten different answers and different responses from them in reference to it. But I also mix the question up. Then I flip it and I say, well, how do your peers who may not have dads in their life, how do you think that they feel in a way? What's the difference in them and you? And I often hear the different answers from being able to talk, touch, and communicate with the dad versus one not being there. And also some things that you may be guided this way because you have one, and you may go the other way because you don't have one. Wow, Mr. 27, I am 27. Hello, Gigi, me, how you doing? Tamika Johnson, how are you as well? Our call number here is 470-251-4343 if you want to jump into the conversation here about children loving their fathers. You know, my children, well, my triplets, that's what I call them, that when they explain to me certain things throughout their lives thus far, when it comes to their peers, they can sit there and see it and watch and listen to certain things that they know that I wouldn't tolerate. And if any dad has listened to me around the world, some of the negative issues and influences that can impact our child or children once they reach that peer pressure age can affect them for a long, long time. So they may say something to me, I'm going to go to my son first, that some of his male friends may be looking a certain way because he wear a belt. And I got to go there for the reason of having a belt upon your pants. That could be, to me, a form of a standard. And all of my military people out there around the world, you know that there's a certain standard that we wear belts, and it's a certain way you want to look. And being as though they wear uniforms to school, there's a certain standard. Or you may come back with something of how they may talk about certain things, or even they may not have aspirations or goals in their life. And or even they may talk negative or bad about their father because he is not there in their life. I asked myself, well, how did you feel about having one inside your life? Since you love me, you say. Said I feel great because I can talk to another male and I can have that relationship and we can have a conversation about what's expected of me as a male growing up. I said, oh, okay, cool. And we talk about a lot of other stuff. And then with my girls, they may see girls dressed a certain way with less clothing on and or just promiscuous out there between the ages of 13 and wherever they at in their life. They just turned 17. And I asked them, I said, well, how do you feel having a, hello, Rosalind and Kimberly. I say, well, what's the difference in great rise to you, beloved? Thank you, Rosalind. You know, they say that the promiscuous part of them, they can see in them because they may not have that dad or that male role model around. Because if you don't have that, you can at least sort out a positive male influence in your life. And then you be still loving that person called dad. I'm proud of you too also. Thank you, dear. Going to fast forward quickly to a question that, like I said, what Paul Posey asked, because it always resonates inside of my mind, even now and then when I see certain things in reference to parents and children, is what's the negatives and the positives of you having the dad in there that you love so much in your life versus not having one. Now, that show negative to positives, I definitely turned my negative around. As you all know my story. International Fathers was actually birthed up here when I was the age of 10 years old. I said I would never put my children through what I went through, but that's a different story there. The fact that of issues that remain, you know, you're still getting somebody somewhere along the line, which happens to be my offspring or ducklings, hope they not listen to that part of it, who had that chance to just love and just embrace me. My phone here is going on a whack, but it's still good. So if you got any calling, and if you want to chime in at 470-251-4343, I'd like to hear from you to see what's going on with you, since we're talking about the children loving their fathers. And if you are a father out there who look at your child as him or her or they loving you, what does that feel like on your part? I mean, I understand the embracing part of it and the issue of you raising them and that they're counting on you and depending on you. But how does that feel when you got that child or children that say, you know what, Dad, I love you. I asked mine so many questions, but now they got it down pat. Why do you love me? I need to know why you love me. And for a while you say, because you're my dad, you're my father. I want to know why you love me. Tell me more than just that. You know, and for my older twin, she just say because of food. I told y'all that's the one that likes to eat. But it just started getting more and more and more in tune as to why. And they can just sit there and it just be a whole array of answers as to why they love me. And then me thinking about it and feeling it, say, okay, well, they love me. Not doubting it. But I like to hear more of what they're saying and more of what they're talking about. Y'all gotta excuse me because my phone here is doing its own thing. It's trying to do. Been married 35 years and 3 children, 2 parents in the house. Children are 25, 28, and 33. Well, you got all grown folks there, Gigi. I'm trying to get these last 3 up and out. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. But in 3 more years, I can just start taking more vacations by myself and start traveling the world and probably the universe. Because I'm going to Mars when they have that trip to Mars. I might go up there too. 35, 2 parents in the house. So how is the love between the children and their dad? For a response, you can give me a call, Gigi, at 470-251-4343, Status Network here in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. Y'all gotta excuse me here. I had a guest that happened to just call out, not call out, informed me a couple of days ago that couldn't make it. So I am definitely still going on because this show must go on. My children always tell me that. So you know what? You still gotta go. This is your dream. This is your vision. They throw in God's will, God's purpose for my life. They throw in my passion, my compassion with fathers being involved in their children's lives. And you came from Baltimore to Atlanta, from Atlanta to Status Network, and you just got to just, shoo. The show must go on. As we say in show business, because I'm going to claim that one right there too. Thank you, Miss Gigi. We got to talk too. Whenever I get off the air, you and I got to talk about something. International Fathers is a talk show like no other. I'm ready to go into a commercial break and get me some water. And when I come back here, we're going to see if you got that question answered for me. Again, the call number is 470-251-4343. International Fathers. Hello there and welcome back to International Fathers. I'm your host and your creator, Nelson Moody Sr. I think that did me just a little bit justice right there, drinking me some water. I sound like I'm talking a little bit better. Again, we talk about children loving their fathers. It's a thing of unconditional love. And I mentioned before that despite of what you did or what you're doing, my child, my children, I love you. I love you. Reciprocated back to, being dad. I love you too, and I admire you. I admire your strength. I admire your courage. I admire your determination. I admire things that you do. Thank you so much. I admire things that you do. And with that, these are some more extra reasons as to why I love you. Affectionately, I love you emotionally, I love you mentally, I love you psychologically. And with all this love going around in your head right there coming from a child, you be like, okay, I get it. I totally understand exactly what you mean, and I truly believe it. And again, love's a verb, so you just can't say I love you, but love you and you don't show it. I've always been that person to where it's still, I like for somebody to show me that you love me rather than just tell me you love me. See, you could tell me you love me only twice a year, but if you can show it 367 days a year, I think that's how many days in a year, then I can better believe that. But when a child tells you that they love you, when they starting off at that little toddler age, when they formulating that word, and they trying to get it all together, and then you laughing at them or even you joking, and they finally get it. And then when you play that peekaboo game and you try to go from room to room, they be like, I love you, I love you. And you sit back and you be like, I love you too. And all the Google faces happen, all that good stuff like that. And that love will just keep on going. Okay. That went off there. But again, like I said, love. That was the topic today. It was nothing long drawn. It was nothing that was super groovalistically outlandish. Use some big words as far as to try to bring this back together. But that love is a thing. A songwriter is talking about what love got to do with it. Well, love got a lot to do with it, but the child is telling you that, and the child is feeling you. And without a shadow of a doubt, wow, I'm loved. I am loved by that man right there. And then you look back and you be like, wow. There's a song way back from the Winstons, I believe. It's called Call Him Father, where the mom had children and she met a guy and he married and helped raise the children. Because the father passed away in the war. I think that's the thing of the song right there. And how he just got in there and he treated the children as though they were his own children. And then the guy of the song, which is the son, said that he knew how, in that this man, I'm going to call him the man with the big grin. That's what he say he is. How he loved her by the way that mama looked at me, the way he held my daughter. I can't forget the little girl's name, but they all call him father because of the love. So they shown their love back to him. And there was other songs and all that good stuff like that, and there's other things that will show you the significance of a love between a father and his children, or children to their fathers. I keep putting fathers and children because that's always my main thing, that is fathers to children. So when you hear me say that, it could be a mistake, but you know that I meant the children loving their fathers. Excuse me. What tastes so good? Like I said again, you gotta excuse me because I'm winging a lot of this right here today. I have a book out called Men Are Loving Caring Parents Too, and in that book we talk about how the educational part of it is also significant from a child to a father too, because the homework and the classwork and in the PTA meetings, that's appreciated whenever he goes to school. Going from there to the doctor's appointments. You know how it is when a child may get those shots and they're like 2 or 3 years old. Some of them are scared of the needles. Well, we got some adults that scared of needles too. But being there with that child, and that child can see, you know what? I love him. Because he's right there with me. He's making sure ain't nobody is hurting me. While I'm talking about hurting me and looking at somebody, have y'all ever seen that post on Facebook? I know y'all seen it to where as though the little baby is on a phone like this and said, I'm going to paraphrase it, saying that this guy's trying to drown me and everybody around me taking pictures in a robe, talking about the preacher. So that's a baptism. But even in that, you can see that it could be some love there. But getting back to what I was saying about the issue of the doctor's appointments, because they're going to be looking for somebody to protect them. And you have dad there protecting them. They say, you know what? He loves me. My daddy loves me. And that song talks about my baby loves me, but you switch it around, you go, my daddy loves me. That was my verse. And Martha Vandals wrote that one. Now someone singing wrote this one. I don't know if y'all caught that or not. But fast forward from the health status and from the educational status, we just jump into all kind of stuff as our children are growing up. And they see the constant love there. They see the constant love of dad, and dad see that constant love of them reciprocated because of what they have in their life at that time and forevermore. Loving them. He's at that track meet. He's up in the bleachers right there and just looking down like, that's my child. And they looking up. Uh-oh. I just love that man up there. And somebody might go, who you talking about? That man right there. Who's that man? That's my daddy right there. You'd be like, oh, okay. I didn't know that. You didn't know that? He around here all the time. He volunteer in the school system a whole lot. Like, I never saw him. He's always downstairs in the gym after school from 3 to 5. That's where you can see him at a whole lot. My dad, loving my dad. Our call number here is 470-251-4343. I want to hear from you. I want you to join in on this conversation here. I got to tell you, I've always said that I never know who this talk show will touch. I often tell my guests when they share their stories that I never know, or you never know whose life that you're touching. I was recently contacted by someone who was looking for her father. This was about probably for a while now, but this person contacted me about maybe 3.5 weeks ago through a Facebook Messenger. And normally when somebody send me messages, if I don't know you, or even if you got a picture of a animal, a flag, a picture of a symbol, or anything like that, I don't normally touch those. But then the person, after sending that, they wrote me a long piece of information. And I was reading it. I was like, oh, okay. So I reached out to the person, and we chit-chatted, and we talked, and of all the information that this person had, and I had to look at it, and I was reading it, I reached back out to this person and ended up finding this person's father. And they met, they had lunch. I believe it was probably maybe 2 days or maybe 3 days after she made contact with me. And I asked, well, how did you find me? With the information that she had. And then she ran up and down my Facebook page. And she found me. And I was saying that with my triplets. I was saying, you know what? I never know who's watching me. And at that moment, I was like, wow. I had some tears. I was thinking about it, but I was happy. The happy part of it was that she found her father. That was the happy part about it. And as I was thinking about it, you know, that is one of the number one reasons International Fathers started. Bridging, connecting fathers and their children. In this case, it was a daughter connecting with her father. And after days went by, I was thinking more and more and more that this event that just happened was hands down my best experience since International Fathers started about 10 years ago. My best experience. I'm still in ooh and ah, still communicate and talk because, like I said, is this me? Sorry about that. I thought I had a caller right there. Nope. Hung up. Call if that's you. Call right back. 470-251-4343. Anyway, as I was saying, that was the number one best experience I ever had. I got a lot of enjoyment. I got a lot of fulfillment out of that. Because like I've said before, I've always told my triplets that I never know who's watching International Fathers. I never know whose life it may touch. And not knowing that the person will send me the information and then will find me through International Fathers and end up connecting her with her father. It was a joyful, it was beyond joyful. It was happy, it was elated, it was super groovelistic. They go that word again. That's back in the 70s word. But the fact that her and her dad, her and her father, is connected. And hopefully something comes out of that to where as though she may be able to say what I say about children loving their fathers. And of course, I know it's going to take some time for them to get adjusted, for them to know each other. And she's been tuning in on this talk show. She has checked it out. She liked it, of course, because this is how she found me. International Fathers is a talk show like no other, and is going boldly when no other talk show has gone before. You've seen me posted it. You heard me say that before. It's moving. It's moving like this right here. At times it may not look like it on some aspect, but my faith in God, my purpose, I'm purpose driven for this. And the insight that I have for International Fathers is, like I said, is boldly going. I told a couple of people in the past week, don't sleep on International Fathers. There's some out there that are sleeping on it. But there's a few that's not. Despite of what may happen or even what you may see. And triplets AAA, not Alcoholics Anonymous, and not Automobile Insurance. I should specify that. Alexandra, Erna, and Alexia will get to see fatherhood 7 days a week. They can see it, and they know where it's going at. And there's a few other people who have kind of see it and can visualize it. And like I said, I got some upcoming projects. I got one in particular, and it's all tied into still bridging fathers and children, because I have that's still in here. And if you know the conception of it at the age of 10, which was about 17 years ago, remember, I'd be 27 Thursday, February the 14th. My daughter, she talking about help. Wow, 27 years old. Let's see. Yeah. And she putting caps. Yeah, I'm 27, child. So you'd like to chime in, or I'd like some feedback from you here at 470-251-4343. And I'm here. And if you like International Fathers t-shirt, it'll be available here. The producer might put a picture up of it in case you forgot what it looks like. You can purchase one here on Tuesdays between 4:30 and 6:30 p.m. And it says, "Hello, Dad. International Fathers Talk Show is on." And going to put in some more information about that, and going to get some other stuff, like I said, to just drive this International Fathers Talk Show straight up. And if you know a dad out there who would like to be on International Fathers Talk Show, you can send me a 350-word essay along with a short bio to nelsonlmoodysenior@gmail.com. That's NELSONLMOODYSR. If you're interested in sponsorship, you can also send me an email at that same email. And once again, fathers, 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 as I bring this to a close. Fathers, 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 call your children. And children, 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 call your fathers. Fathers, 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 hug those children. And children, 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 hug those fathers. Until next time, don't forget February the 14th, my birthday.